Okay, we are going to review a very rare sighting of Representative Melissa Durrant speaking. I think this might be the first time I've actually seen her do it. And anyway, so let's hear what she has to
This
say.
bill is currently.
All right, to give some background, this is for House Bill. I'll sit on my YouTube. The Parental Choice Credit H447. Now the freedom side of things, they've been. I don't know if freedom is the word. The individualist side. I guess we'll just use the freedom because they all have the word. Idaho Freedom Foundation, the Idaho Freedom Caucus or something. So they all have the word freedom. So I'll say the freedom side of things. This particular bill, and they tried to do this last time. Basically, it's a refundable tax credit that could go to, I believe, private schools and for homeschool things. And now, in terms of the support from the actual homeschool committee or side of things, it's pretty mixed. Shippey, that's the last name. And if you take a look at the history, if you go on YouTube, you can see what happened within Idaho itself. His family members, or back then, they were actually arrested for home educating the kids, and so there's always some concerns. And Senator Lakey had discussed this as well. This is more than just, this isn't like this is like a government money program, and the requirements to give out any sort of tax dollars should be as high as you would for any other government agency, especially if it is a refundable tax credit. Maybe for him, that issue would be resolved if you said it was not refundable and it was just merely a tax credit that's not refundable for student-related expenses. And so they talk about that. It's $5,000, and I think it goes up to $7,500 if it's like for children with disabilities. And this would apply, I guess this would apply to private school tuition and also home education. Let's see, the other part of the criticism which you might hear about is that it was like the maximum budget for this is $10 million. And the concern was this bill doesn't seem to explain what happens when it hits the limit. And that's that's the problem. Maybe can you just do like a tax break or something, some other way, so that here's 40 million. So that what happens when it hits that limit? That's kind of the issue. So anyway, here is Representative Durrant. It didn't go past the committee; it got voted down. But this is a rare chance since she's running for re-election. Here we go.
To speak on the motion.
Yes, you have the floor.
So when I've looked at this, I've looked at it in a different way. Instead of just parent choice, looked at it as a way of funding, basically being able to fund the choice. And so talking to a bunch of my different constituents and different people, one of the biggest struggles with the way that this bill is currently written is it comes off as parent choice, but that's really only the 10 million. The 10 million is the part that's for those that aren't able to be in there now. And so there's such a big concern with the way it's written is if you're not able to get in that part of that 10 million, they can't afford, like many here have said, it's been a real struggle, but many have not been able to afford even being able to start. And so as I've really struggled and tried to toy with what would be best in that, a lot of people have just said, for my constituents, that they do not like the way it is written because it does not give as much to parents to do that free choice, being as a tax credit. And there's a lot of heartburn with the way the tax credit that I've had from people on both sides of the spectrum. And the biggest one is there's the concern of funding as a tax credit, and then how do you really get the transparency? We have the tax commission, but not everybody can openly go and see that. And so I will not support the assisted substitute motion because for the fact that so many people have reached out that they don't like it, the form of a tax credit. And if this is a route that we want to go down in the state, yes, it's capped now, but the amount of people here that said that it's going to be a good for them, it's going to be for others, it's going to need to grow to reach the needs. And so we got to make sure what we do is correct and that it's going to be a long-term sustainable if this is what we want. And from reaching out to people, I don't feel the way that it currently is going to give us the long sustainability and the actions that we want. It's a really good intention, but I'm afraid if we put it in, then the full intentions of the sponsor and the full, basically the full, in my opinion, what they really want, this doesn't fully get what they want in. And it could tie hands if we do decide that that is how we want. We need to make sure it's correct the first time.
Thank you. Representative Burns. Thank you, Chairman Kennedy.
All right, yeah, one of the things that the Shippy was saying, the hardcore homeschoolers who have been arrested, who have arrest history in their past, is that this would be like a stepping stone, because the moment you take the credit, I shudder at this. I don't know if you've ever been in an IRS audit. You know, you take that money, right? Or you take the, what is it, the COVID loans. I mean, you're opening yourself up toward potential tax fraud, right? From the state agency. And I think, some people were going to jail because they were buying like cars, luxury cars with the COVID loan money. But so there is that sort of argument, and this is our, she is our representative. So I'm not sure, who voted, who supported it, or who talked to her about it, which representatives. Now, within CUNA specifically, it's like, most of our constituents where, Big D Ranch, where she lives, that's the CUNA school district. So most people just kind of do that. They don't necessarily home educate. That this home education issue or credit or whatever becomes more of an issue for the freedom side, because they want to start cutting down. They want there to be some kind of competition against the massive public school lobby, and they think they can teach the children better. So yeah, anyway, it's about her. She spoke. That's the first time, and I think that's about it. So, all right, have a good one. Bye-bye.